if you see here in our cloud, so these are all the topics will be covered. Let me go with one by one. So coming to um, course content, which is Informatica Cloud, product process synchronization, object synchronization, data replication, and the Informatica Cloud key dumps, or like what are all the components are having in IACS, and Informatica Cloud applications, like what are all the products we have in Informatica Cloud. See, if we are doing some data integration, if you are not understanding what I am trying to say, please raise a question, okay? And how we can synchronize the data like from source to target, and the process synchronization means like how the real time uh, the information is synchronized between the source and the target. So those will be covered, okay? And coming to like how I will show you how to create a free trial, and how to see the products inside the Informatica Cloud. Okay, Informatica Cloud is not only for data integration. So it is for multiple, it is having multiple products. Informatica is a company, right? So they provide multiple products. One of the product is data integration, and one of the product is application integration. One of the product is MDM and B2B gateway. So these are all multiple products. And now, as a part of this course, we have to learn about data integration, okay? And coming to the architecture and agent, okay, Informatica Cloud architecture I will show like what it is gonna do, and um, and what products that we are using as a data integration developer, okay? And coming to the Informatica Cloud secure agent is something like that. If you want to connect to files in local system, how you will be connecting? It's that there should be a communication between our system and the cloud. So for that we need to install some secure agent. So that is this one, I will be explaining you that as well. An Informatica Cloud agent, if you are installing the cloud agent in Azure or GCP is a Google Cloud Platform. If you are in how it works, like what is the difference between the secure agent in cloud and the secure agent in the local system like Linux or Windows, okay? And how the agents are running in a local network or the network user. So these will be covered in a module 2. So any questions in this, like what is do you got any idea that what are the agenda that I am going to discuss, or you have any questions, or please just shoot me, I will answer.
So from my side, I'm clear. So you
Okay.
may.
And yeah, going with module 3, and which is connection creation, okay? Like if you want to connect to any application like file connection or database or any APIs, how we will be creating connections in Informatica Cloud. And we are having another product called Administrator. There we can create connections to any application, okay? And there I will show how to create connection, how to create uh, the type of what are all the properties that we can connect, and flat file connections and all, like I will show you that how to create Salesforce connection. You know Salesforce? So this is the the CRM that where a company is maintaining all the information. Just an organization is maintaining the cloud application. So we have, I will show the inbuilt connectors as well as the types of connections we have. What if we don't have connection? If we don't have the connection type, we need to buy the license. Or if we don't have it, is there any option to connect? Like can we get an API from that application? Like that we can know about this, the connection types, and how to create connections, what are all the properties we need to configure and all. And coming to data synchronization application, it is not sorry, this is not an application. This is one of the concept in data integration. So how the data is syncing between the source and target, like for example, if we want to sync the data from flat file to Salesforce, if we make any changes in a flat file, it should sync, insert or update in the target. So that is the data synchronization task. And that is one of the tasks in Informatica Cloud. And there, how to create, what are all the sources, targets, and filters can be applied in data synchronization. So this can be done here. Okay, I don't bring Power Center because not everyone knows Power Center. So if directly we will be knowing what is data synchronization and data replication. So synchronization means that if there is any change in a source, that should be synced. But whereas the replication, whatever we got, we need to send, push it to the target. So that is the replication task. And how the data stored, what are all the types of replications can be possible in data integration, and what are all the tasks that we can do in replication, available operations like incremental load and full load, and I will be explaining you that as well. That is these are one tasks. Coming to the mapping, so we have tasks, right? But mapping is something that we can do, transform, cleanse and filter the data. So mapping have the functionality to change the data based on the requirement. Like if we want to transform the data, or if you want to send the data to the multiple targets, or if you want to read the data from multiple sources, then we can use the mapping designer. Okay, mapping have a lot of transformations. It's not it's first, as I said, source, target, filter, aggregator, and hierarchy parser, hierarchy builder. So we have a lot of transformations if you see here. So these are all the transformations. Few transformations are missing, I'll be covering that also here. Okay, and mapping is just like map itself, we are sending data from source to target. Okay, like we are connecting, we are integrating. But before that, as part of ETL process, we are transforming the data, right? Extracting, transforming and loading. Extracting from multiple sources, transforming using cleansing, cleanser, or all the transformations involved, and the sending to the target. So this can be done with the use of mapping, by using all the transformations. And so this is another module, which is and transforming source data. If you see the data filter and incremental processing, as I already mentioned, that how we can use incremental processing, whether it is a full load, incremental load, or that can be done, that can be covered. And data filter, like how we can filter the data before we are sending to the target, and do we have any advanced filter options. And the expressions, like if we want to change the data type, or if you want to trim the data, if you want to cleanse or delete the duplicates, or all the transformations can be covered. Okay, system variable filters, in the sense like if we want to get the last run data, current timestamp, all the one of the system variable filters. Okay, and those can be covered, like how we can use in mapping. And coming to the mapping parameters and mapping tasks. So once we create a mapping, we need some task to run it. That is called a mapping task. Okay, that mapping tasks can have a source and target, and it is having and it can be involved to change the parameters. So those are parameter types and mapping tasks, and how we can change. Like if you want to reuse the mapping, then we can parameterize the mapping and create the mapping configuration tasks. So that is the mapping configuration tasks, and it is having all the options to to make changes, what type of source we need and target. Okay, based on the type of parameter is involved in the mapping task. And we have advanced task options in mapping configuration task, which is operation system commands like pre-processing or post-processing command. If you want to run a shell script, or if you want to run a Python script in a mapping configuration tasks, then we can use these, and we can have a set, and we can set a parameter file. Parameter file involves, if you want to use the values instead of directly configuring in the mapping, so you can be placed in somewhere, then you can use it. So that is a parameter file. And then commands, like whether it is a shell commands or batch commands. If the secure agent is installed in Linux environment, it is a shell, and if it is installed in Windows, it is a batch. Like that we can use. And coming to 12th module, which is automation and monitoring. And automation and monitoring name itself includes that it is a monitoring tool, which is a monitor is one of the product. Whatever the task you run in data integration, that can be monitored in monitor. And coming to schedules, so if you want to run the task based on the schedule, so we can assign that, and we can repeat the frequencies, sending email notifications, and all this can be handled in administrator. And if you want to monitor the data, you can use a monitor product. And we'll let you know once we log in the Informatica cloud organization. And coming to the task flows, so we have different types of task flows. One is advanced task flow, linear task flow, and we have a parallel task flows, and we have a lot of task flows. And linear task flow is one of the task flow which we use very less. And to run the mapping tasks, whatever the mapping task we have created, mapping tasks, so if you want to run it linearly, then we can use this. And we'll be going with the advanced task flow as well, which is having multiple steps. Advanced name itself, this is advanced task flow. Advanced name itself, that we can we can use, we can loop the data, we can connect to multiple, it is in a cascaded manner, one after the another. Linear is something, is it's not similar to linear. Linear can run only the tasks, but whereas advanced task flow, based on the condition, we can run it. Okay. And coming to advanced property settings, like if you want to improve the performance, like how we will be doing SQL overriding lookups, and this can be covered. And these advanced property settings are in mapping configuration tasks. Okay. And coming to the source transformation. In source, what type of objects that we can select, and this can be collected, and how this can be, these are all the options in a source transformation. And relationships of and integration, if we only it is for synchronization, like so only it is for Salesforce, sorry. And Salesforce is having a multiple objects, right? Like built-in objects or the custom objects. So if it is how we can relate, or how we can sync the data with the Salesforce, and how we do look up the data, so those can be covered in this relationships and integration. This is only related to the Salesforce. And this coming to this field lookups, we can how in synchronization task, how we can do lookup only with a field related lookups. Like if we want to sync the data between the database and Salesforce, and how we can do the field lookups. So this is for Salesforce. And hierarchical connectivity is something like if you want to read the some unstructured data like JSON or XML, so this hierarchy transformations or hierarchy schema is used in these two transformations. And builder is something like if you want to convert the data to XML or JSON. And hierarchy parser is to parse the data, like to read the data which is in XML or JSON. Okay. And convert into a relational format. Relational means rows and column wise. And if it is a builder, if you want to convert it to XML or JSON, this is about this. And REST web service and SOAP web service and web service transformation. And this web service is something like one of the transformation to connect to API. So this can be either it is a REST or SOAP. So we can connect, like in training we'll be also discussing that how we'll connect REST or SOAP API as well. And coming to Informatica Cloud REST API, see, Informatica Cloud is a cloud tool, and it is also having an API, right? So this is called a, if Informatica Cloud want, see, you are a user in Informatica Cloud. If you want to read what type of connections it have, so then how you will be getting to know. You can't go and check manually, right? So that's why Informatica Cloud also providing their API to read that. And I'll be explaining what is REST API, SOAP API, and coming to this, to improve the performance we have to do some performance tuning, right? So these are all the performance tuning techniques, which is partitioning, and what type of partitionings are available in in Informatica Cloud. Partitioning itself to improve the performance, like if we have millions of records, how we will split the records and send into the target, to improve the performance. And the secure agent groups, as I told you, we are installing some secure agent to system, right? To communicate between the system and the cloud. So I will be this will be also part of the training, like how we can install the secure agent to Linux or Windows environment, and how to connect to the local applications. And another point is discovery IQ features, and this is also one of the product, and which is for monitoring, like what are all the features it have in IICS, like what are all the connections is being used. So this can be covered in discovery IQ, like collection, like what type of what type of data, how much data it uses. So it is a platform where which gives the information. Okay. So coming to the next module, which is use cases and solutions, parameterization and parameterization technique, like how we can parameterize the fields. Like if you want to reuse in the next flow, then how we can, what is the use of parameterization and types of parameterization, what is the use of parameters can be involved. Like we have two parameters, right? Input and input parameter, and we will be covering those two parameters as well. And administrator is just something is very simple, that as I told you, administrator, in administrator, how we can download the secure agent, and how we can create the user. Like if I log in the cloud application, I can add multiple users to the Informatica Cloud, same organization. So how we'll be adding, how to give permissions and the folder access to the users, and those can be covered here. This is a completely administration part of Informatica Cloud. And we can assign, once we add the users, that how we can assign you know roles for that user, and how we can give object level permissions. See, here we are maintaining as a project, and folders inside that. In that folders we will be having assets. What are all the assets? Mapping configuration tasks, as I said, task flow, all those are the assets. So how to create objects, project and project folders, and those can be covered in this module. So these are all the uh, modules we have.